guess, basically certain, say it's a 99% chance that we'll be doing Dragon Age tomorrow, starting sometime between 11 and 12. Awesome. Today it's Final Fantasy IX, and Mass Effect 2 on the schedule. We still have a little bit of Chocobo Hot and Cold left to do. Now, Chocobo Paradise moves around. I think we get a indicator of where it is. Let me check on the map here. Check Wizard Garden, that's what we want. Okay. Southeast. Let's go. We're going to do some Chocobo Hot and Cold in Chocobo Wizard Garden. We're going to go pick up the remaining Chocographs around the world. Don't think I'm going to demo the Ozma boss fight just yet. Get a little further into the plot first so that we have a little bit higher levels, but we're close to being able to take them on. And the next plot point is Ipsen's Castle, which is unique in that the amount of damage your weapons deals there is inverted. You deal more damage with weaker weapons and less damage with stronger weapons. Just having a happy Friday today. This one is kind of tough. Probably the easiest one to do everything is the lagoon. It's a very small area. It doesn't have any places where you have to transition from one part to the other. Helped somewhat by how fast he digs. Like you can tell if you've watched before, the number of dig attempts per second is very, very high. The gold Chocobo. There are two different areas you have to cycle between. Kind of complicates it a little bit. The RNG component then becomes, you know, how many Chocographs are in the same island before you have to start switching. Probably update the game title to reflect that it's going to be about an hour of Chocobo Hot and Cold, I would guess, before Ipsen's Castle. That's okay. Parties interested in Final Fantasy IX will be on the edge of their seats listening to Vema Olafamenko here. Yeah, see, so that was kind of unlucky in that we ended up having diggable items on the two separate islands alternating there. Do not want that to happen. We want to play through it quickly. I believe we can get all the Chocographs now. I don't think there's anything limiting us. Like on an edge or something? There you go, Choco. Damn, bro. Not sure I know what that means, or can know what that means without actually doing the fight you're talking about, Kami. Is the creature's name Faust, or are we referring to the story of the making a deal with the devil. Hey Leon, Medalla, how's it going? Today we are doing the Chocobo Hot and Cold game to get the final remaining chocographs before progressing to one of the endgame dungeons, Gibson's Castle. There's one of the chocographs. Don't think there are very many after that one. There might be like 3 or 4 in here. It's not like the other levels where there's... I think the Chocobo Forest has something like 15 chocographs right there at the beginning. Ah, he's teaching you the mechanics, I guess. I see. Teaching you whether you should be there or not. It's like, if you have a raid where the first fight is like a check to see whether you can handle the more complicated things to come. There's a similar fight in Nax Ramos and World of Warcraft way back in the day, Patchwork. He wasn't very difficult, he was just tank and spank, but it was what was called a DPS check, where if your DPS wasn't up to snuff for the rest of the dungeon, you would not be able to kill him before he enraged and wiped the party. It was actually, it was simple, it wasn't very fun to do, but it was interesting because it allowed them to calibrate the rest of the dungeon. They could say, okay, well if you can beat Patchwork, then we know what amount of hit points and what kind of mechanics we can assign to the rest of the enemies. Because imagine how frustrating it would be if you didn't have the Gatekeeper Patchwork boss there at the beginning, and you got like 6 fights into it by the skin of your teeth, and then you just suddenly couldn't win because you didn't have the numbers for it. I'd rather lose on the first boss because of insufficient numbers, train up and come back, than have that be a surprise halfway through. Hey Cloud Reaver. Good to see you again, man. How has your week been? Yahan, my friend. Good to see you, sir. I was having lots of fun yesterday with the Master Quest 3DS version of Ocarina of Time. I'd never played the Master Quest before, and it's like I'm getting to play a free Zelda game. A free new Zelda game. Hey Nulu, how you doing? Good to see you. I think I may have fixed the join part issue from yesterday too. So chocograph. Switch the port that Chatty was connected to. Doing well. Looking forward to the weekend. We're going to be playing some Dragon Age Inquisition with my wife Andrea. Usually not something that we can schedule because she's a very busy woman. But she said this morning that almost certain we're going to want to do that. I'm looking for chocographs. Chocographs are later used in the game world to find rare treasures. Unlike other Final Fantasies, almost all of the best in-game gear in this is gated behind this minigame, Chocobo Hot and Cold. It's fortunate they chose this minigame because this is the most sweet, most awesome minigame of any Final Fantasy, in my opinion. Oh, you're good, dude. Happens. I don't think I saw it, though. Andrea told me about it. She's like, wanted to give an example, because we've had some people get really upset when someone's had to clear the chat. This happened during Secret of Monkey Island last week, I think it was. Like, someone got really salty because chat had to be cleared. And it's like, nah, man, it happened. So Andrea was like, yeah, even Cloud Reaver dropped something, and it had to get cleared. Like, I've done it. I spoiled something for Apex in Final Fantasy XIV on stream the other day. It sucks. It's hard. I think Mega Man said the same thing. I went back and watched the video. I didn't read it at the time. And I think you and Mega Man both said the same thing. It was like, only one of them can be damaged. Yeah. Anyway, these chocographs are essentially pictures on the game world where you take the chocobo around and dig in order to find treasures, and the treasures tend to be the ultimate endgame gear. There's also this game's optional boss is in this general area. We're not going to fight him just yet. We might come back here a little bit later. I don't think we're going to beat him on stream, but we'll at least show him off, see how ridiculous he is. Yeah, you're good, man. One of the things that you have to kind of accept when you're streaming is that you're not going to get a totally virgin experience. Like if you sat at home, turned off all the lights, kicked out your family members, and just played the game, like, and not through any error on anyone's part. Yeah, Kami's got it exactly right. Look at that. That's very nice. Yeah, I hear you, Nulu. This is an interesting problem to talk about. Apex has brought this up on stream a couple times, that like it is more difficult than you might imagine for a smart person to conceal spoilers from another smart person, even if you think you're good at it. Like the example he gave was trying to talk about Game of Thrones. Got all the chocographs. There we go. I'll go ahead and go to Chocobo's Paradise first, and then we'll do the other chocographs. So the example of Game of Thrones is you have 3 people in a room. One of them is watching Game of Thrones, but they're on like season 1. You know, they're not very far. And the other 2 people have read all the books, and they're finished with the series. And say person A is the person who is not caught up, and persons B and C are the people who are caught up. It is extraordinarily difficult for persons B and C to speak in the presence of person A without spoiling something, no matter how careful they are on their wording and their language. Like, it seems like that's a simple problem that you can speak in code and the other person can get what you're saying, but smart people figure stuff out. Hey Shresta, how you doing? Yeah, Mass Effect is very hard. It's something you want to say, this does carry over into the 3rd game, but even that itself is a spoiler. So. It's here, right, I think. That's a good way to put it, Nulu. And Mass Effect is extremely hard. I'm excited to do a Master Quest or Second Quest playthrough of Mass Effect where we go into it and I put in the title spoilers for the full series and we talk about them in that way. Doing well, having a good Friday. It's an example to build from, though, that like when you're dealing with smart people, they can deduce things quickly, no matter how clever you are in your wording. Secret Moogle just following us around. We're flying. Hey, Happiness, how you doing? This is a place you can go for some endgame card playing if you really get into the card game. Well, the card game is much more optional than this than it even was in Final Fantasy VIII, which is good because Tetramaster is not as good as Triple Triad. One of those things where it had cool ideas, but it was a little too complex. Oh yeah? What's your favorite Final Fantasy, Happiness? Cool. We'll be extra careful about that in particular. But no, I remember I had a bunch of the story spoiled for me because I heard the names of chapters in the last book, and that exposed characters that were still alive as of the 5th book. Hey Corporate J, how you been? Choice, good choice. Favorite is 6. And probably the whole cast is 6. Are there any characters I really don't care for? Even the ones that I don't play as are interesting, I think, in that one. Cool, cool. Good to see you. Alright, so they're saying you can come back to Chocobo's Paradise after you found all the chocographs. So we have all the chocographs, so now we have to uncover all of them. So I'm going to go start doing that. At this rate, we should be in Ipsen's castle in maybe 45 minutes or so. Is this the first Final Fantasy you played, Happiness? Had you played some of the earlier titles first? That island is notable in that it's you can. Well, I guess you can land there with a regular airship. Let's say you can only land there with a gold chocobo, but that's false. Right, Nulu? Oh, right on, Nulu. Oh yeah, this is a great game. Has a lot of nostalgia factors bringing you back to the older titles. First but not last. Cool. This would be a cool one to start with. Then you'd almost feel nostalgia for 9 when you go back and play the very early titles. What happened was, you know, you had this lead artist, Yoshitaka Amano, who does the cool, like, watercolor art style for Final Fantasies 1 through 6, which were all this kind of, like, Victorian medieval fantasy. Then 7 and 8 come in, which are very much a Western, Western, I mean, like, you know, not Eastern in style, not like Western, like Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Western sci-fi. So 9 was a cool return to form. They brought back Yoshitaka Amano as the lead artist, and they brought back the kind of same setting. There might be Cold Lagoon and Cold Field are here. Do I have Cold Field already? If I can find a beach. Yeah, Square's pretty great. I don't think they made very many titles that I wasn't a fan of before merging with Enix. Since merging with Enix, they've been a little spotty. I guess it depends on the game. They still make just outstanding, polished titles. Ah, nice, Nulu. Yeah, Super Mario RPG. As a kid, I had no idea that that was made by Square. I mean, I was a fan of Final Fantasy, so when I saw that they were making a Mario RPG, I was like, oh man, Mario RPG, I love those two things. Yeah, Chrono Trigger is a legend. You can see I'm a fan of that from my wall behind me. A bunch of gems. I guess we haven't done... to fight Ozma, I think we have to do this little side quest where you run around the game world and find all of these friendly monsters. The point of the friendly monsters at the beginning is to give you a bunch of AP to level up your abilities. Like, you find them, you don't fight them, you give them a gem that they're looking for. But I believe once you found all of them, they give you a tip or something that lets you fight Ozma. Otherwise, he's just unkillable. He doesn't take damage. Oh, part of the main reason for the Square Enix merger was that Square almost broke from bombing with Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within movie. I mean, I love Enix. I don't think there's an Enix game I don't like, and I don't think there's a Square game I don't like, but there are some Square Enix games that I don't like as much. Got me. This is Mog's theme from Final Fantasy VI, which is also famously remixed in Final Fantasy XIV in the Good King Moggle fight. Good King Moggle, Good King Mog. Purple Moogle, part of Mishan. Alright, so you can find the... I forget what it is. It's some kind of, like, shiny grease or something that they use to make Mognet work. I forget where you get it, but if you find it, you can bring it back there and you get some items for doing it. Oh, that's a real quote. That makes me very sad. I want to see Guillermo del Toro. There was still some hope that they were going to kickstart Silent Hills-like project, right? Or is that dead now, too? As the dream died. We are still going to different chocographs at this time. Here's the thing, I don't know if it's in the water or not. Could be on that island proper. Actually, I bet it's on the island because it's one we got from being able to fly up in there. Ah, I see. I didn't know that, Nulu. Yes, Mass Effect 2 is later. Shrusto. Nearing the end of Mass Effect 2, though I don't think we're going to beat it today. We got a couple more DLC missions left. See, we did Overlord. I keep saying we have more DLC missions left, but do we really, other than the one that you're supposed to do after you beat the game? Did Firewalker, we did Overlord. What's the other Mass Effect 2 DLC? Drawing a blank. Yeah, so this island is only accessible on Chocobo if you have the gold Chocobo, since it doesn't have a beach you can come onto it with. Oh, okay, Mega Man. So you can use Doomsday or whatever. That's good to know. Genji armor and Ragnarok. I don't think we're actually going to use Steiner much for the rest of the game. Not because he's a bad character, but just because we can only use 4. And I think I like the other ones better. Getting there. We got Sea at Dusk, Fairy Island, and Forgotten Island. There are some bubbles we can still hit over here, so I'm going to try to do that. Oh, I gotta find a forest die. Yeah, I think it's like southeast of this little arm here. Ah, I see. Because he casts Doomsday a lot, doesn't he? And you can equip everybody in your party with stuff that lets you absorb shadow as well to help with that problem a bit. I think there are some bubbles in this general area. If you see them and I missed them, let me know. You saw some earlier. Kind of hard to see. Oops. Actually, I think I might be too far from it. It's more like west of the peninsula there. There they are. That's what bubbles look like. Hey, okay, guy, how you doing? Do you think it was close to a cause? I think they had something prepared. See those items that I just got from the bubbles? Like Aloha t-shirts? They're like really, really crappy items. They have very poor stats. I thought maybe they were planning something with those, like a side quest at the end of the game where you have to fight something with those equipped. But they don't, as far as I know, they don't actually do anything. And you're short one Aloha t-shirt to have it for everybody. Forgotten Islands. It's on the Forgotten Continent. Fairy Island is in the middle. Fairy Island's pretty dangerous. That's where some of these endgame monsters spawn that can pretty easily kill you. Sea at Dusk is also on the Forgotten Continent. So let's go get the remaining chocographs, and then we can pick up the bubbles and stuff. There's one set of bubbles that are very hard for someone without a guide to find, or figure out how you're supposed to get them. Good thing you had flying, Matt. Yeah, that's the plan, Mega Man. I do have return magic for Amarant. I don't have it for a Vivi yet. No, they're like sheep, right? This is Fairy Island. Hey Xenopixel, how you doing? Wait, this is not Fairy Island. Fairy Island's a little bit more west. Cool, cool. Somewhere around here, but where? I feel like this version of the Hot and Cold would benefit greatly from some additional exclamation points. Like when you play Hot and Cold proper, there's up to 3 exclamation points if you get really close to it. But here it's just, you're kind of there or you're not there at all, you know? It might be on the mountain. No, maybe not though. Maybe it's in like a weird part of the mountain. Like the actual chocograph isn't particularly helpful. It just shows it as being like in the general vicinity of the mountain. Pretty sure it's not in the water either. There we go. Good. What we get? What we get? You have to be almost spot on when you're in the game world, Yahun. It's pretty tough actually. When you're playing the mini game, it's a little bit more forgiving depending on what item you're trying to get. They don't give you a lot of wiggle room though in the game world. Alright, so we got Forgotten Island. Yeah. I think is this guy right up here. Ah, store exclusives. That isn't the list of things I ain't trying to hear. Cool. Okay, one more chocograph. Then we got a couple cracks to eat open and a couple bubbles to dig. And then basically no more Chocobo after that. You get a ribbon from this. The ribbon is frequently the most powerful accessory in Final Fantasy games because it makes you immune to all status effects. Alright, so the last one we still need is Forgotten something or other. Forgotten... oh, Sea at Dusk. Wasn't Forgotten something or other at all. It's just flat out wrong. Which we need to go somewhere where we can get into the water. Maybe we have to start from the Mist Continent to get to it. This continent in the southwest corner doesn't have any beaches, and the Chocobo normally can only board a continent from a beach. Powered Glory, interesting. Was that an actual World of Warcraft spell? It doesn't sound familiar to me. And maybe it's more efficient to go there from the cold continent in the northwest. That's only in the HD remake, though, right, Mega Man? Or am I wrong about that? I heard you mention that the other day. That was interesting. Alright, let's go get on the beach. Yeah, huh? Do you have, is a flower called that in Morning Glories? Is it called that in Finnish as well? Or is that just a random English word that you know? Oh, Leon, the delay got me. You said that sounds pretty dirty. What was that? What sounded dirty? It's somewhere near here. There we go. No more chocographs. White robe, diamond, something card. Cool. So I have a couple bubbles to get. I think we got all the cracks. Be some bubbles down in this general area. Oh, digging cracks and bubbles. Yep. Gotta dig inside real deep into everybody's crack. Way up in there. I have not played Skyrim, but I will be playing it on stream as a blind playthrough. I think I was mentioning the other day that you were asking about Grand Theft Auto, and I see Grand Theft Auto, Fallout, and Skyrim as all being very similar. And that they're huge worlds that you can do a lot of stuff in. You can put a couple 100 hours into those games and not get to everything. Which is, when playing a game by myself, is fairly intimidating. I'm a rabid completionist. But playing on stream, I will just, play it the way I guess it's intended, which is explore around. If you're interested in doing something, do it, but you're not really compelled to do anything. You don't have to get everything. He says, his eye twitching. It's been quite liberating playing things on stream and not 100%ing everything, as much as I loved doing that as a kid. Alright, we got... This last one is super tricky, and I'll show you why. This is the one that you normally wouldn't know what to do without looking at a guide. I certainly didn't as a kid. Very good, Yahan. Yeah, maybe I should throw Skyrim in the voting pool. Next time I have to sub one out because it didn't get votes. Like this week I added Donkey Kong Country, I replaced Blue Dragon. Nobody was voting for Blue Dragon. And Donkey Kong Country hasn't gotten any votes yet, so I might sub it out. Yeah, so these bubbles here, like, if you come here, like every other set of bubbles in the game, and use a dead pepper, you won't dig anything. So, like, without looking in a guide, you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do here? Like, I keep digging in these bubbles, and it's not giving me what I want. I must be doing it from the wrong place. What you're supposed to notice, I guess, is that there's this, like, I don't know, door, cave, coming out the top. Here, I'll show you. It's goofy. Hey Cam Man, how you doing? Seeing if I have any more. Okay, I've got Scorpio, Sagittarius. I haven't been using a guide for the Stellazio, the Zodiac coin, so I don't know if I've missed any. I'll stop by Treno and drop off what I have. You get something fairly good for doing all of it. Schedule update. We're going to be playing Final Fantasy IX for another 2.5 hours, and then it's Mass Effect 2 from 3 to 6 Pacific. Maybe I can get there on a Chocobo. I mean, this is a cool looking effect, but why couldn't you just go over there and use it, you know? Or Topaz, Tiger Racket, and Red Rose card. Does it put me back up top? Auto Berserk, interesting. Can you remove the Berserk in any way, Mega Man? Alright, I'm going to roll back to Treno. I have played Brothers. That's an outstanding game. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you guys a blind playthrough of it because I have played it before. But that's one I definitely want to do on stream. I played it in an afternoon with Andrea. We took turns between the different levels. My wife, Andrea. Very, very good game. Reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus. Brothers is a PC game where, it might be for Xbox as well. Anyway, you play with a controller, and the left analog stick controls one brother, and the right analog stick controls the other. And they use those mechanics to tell the story in a lot of very cool ways. One of the automatic consequences of that control scheme is that you're probably dominant with your left brother. You're more used to using the left stick for moving a character. And the left brother is the older brother, so he tends to do things accurately, whereas the right brother is constantly like running into stuff and bumping his head, and feels appropriate to the story. Give you a blindfolded playthrough. The end of Brothers is like the payoff for the whole game, in that you use the core mechanics in a very clever way. It's sort of like how, if you watch the Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core playthrough, Crisis Core has this really goofy, like, slot machine mechanic. It's kind of stupid, but it pays off at the very end of the game because they use it to tell part of the story in a way that's very clever. You're like, oh, okay, I see why you did this silly slot machine thing for the whole game. Alright, I need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more? Really? I think she just has more. I don't think it's 7 more. I think she just has more than it looks like. Notes from Sid the First. I don't think I'm gonna get all the Stelazio coins. Shresta, you'll see that with most non-partnered streamers. It's about 20-30 seconds. Some partnered streamers can get away with selecting the low delay option because, you know, it causes more buffering, but there's those quality options at the bottom you can click to lower the quality in case you're buffering. I don't have those quality options, so I have to keep that option unchecked. If you really wanted to, though, you can watch on Hitbox, hitbox.tv/Marstead. That's more like a 3 or 4 second delay, and just chat and Twitch. Jess, I think you came here from Hitbox in the first place, didn't you? I saw your chat after stream was over yesterday. Alright, so we got all of this stuff. Let's go ahead and progress the game, why don't we? Progress the game, why not? Go into Ibsen's castle. That's pretty useless then, Mega Man. That's interesting though, because I felt like a lot of those boss fights were calibrated on the assumption you had the catnip. Catnip was an item in Final Fantasy X-2 that made you always deal max damage with each attack. So you could use it in conjunction with something that fired a lot. Like I think there was a gunner ability that fired a whole ton of times, you know, to do a lot of damage. Yeah, you can try watching on Hitbox, Resto. You can open up Twitch chat in a separate window. I think a couple people do that, if you're worried about the delay. But if you just go to twitch.tv/Marstead/chat, it'll pull up the Twitch chat separately, and you'll still be able to talk with everybody else. I'm gonna turn the join parts off because they're still busted. I thought maybe they fixed. I don't know if it's just IRC's been ugly lately. Oh wait, this is oil vert. Wrong place. I'm gonna go to Ibsen's castle. This is the dungeon we went to earlier where you can't use magic. Kuja sends you there because he's primarily a magic user. Okay, Ibsen's castle. Probably southeast of here, I would guess. Just becomes a random encounter. That would be pretty frustrating. Are there save points along the way? It's been way too long since I played 10-2, so I remember just about nothing about it. We come here way later in the game. Let's see. Might be further northwest than I'm remembering. Talking about the Via Parifico, I think, Mega Man? I do have a few on 3DS. Most of my Virtual Console library is on my original Wii, and then whenever they offer a Wii U upgrade, they like charge like $1 if you already had it on Wii. Because when they add it on Wii U, they let you play it on your gamepad as well, which is kind of convenient. I'll do those upgrades. So I haven't reproduced a lot of that on my 3DS, since I have so many of them already. Ibsen's castle was in this. There it is, there it is. Save, since I haven't in a while. I'm going to check everybody's... Okay, everyone's good on stats. We just got a bunch of new new items, so I'm going to see if any of them are upgrades. Oh, he can learn auto regen? That's pretty sweet. See if any, well, what else does it teach? It may as well be him. Nothing new in the bracelet territory. Only care about Flea Gill. Nothing new for chests. Still learning auto life, but just out of curiosity, what's that? Flea Gill. Auto life. Long reach. That could be really good. Put him in the back row. Give that to someone else who needs to learn something in the meantime, though. Hey, Kiraga. That's what I'm talking about. I think the only way to get her ultimate staff is by playing, like, getting access to Kiraga. It's by doing Chocobo Hot and Cold. Ooh, half MP. Well, I think I might want that for Vivi first. Well, I might want Flare first, so they can both be learning it. He's learning auto haste. He's not learning anything. Mag LM Null is pretty good if I remember. I think it makes you ignore the effects of elements. I guess we'll see. I don't think the ribbon in this game actually... Yeah, it absorbs certain elemental attack and reduces damage from other elements. But it's not quite as good as is in the earlier titles. Reflect times 2 makes it so that if you bounce your attacks off yourself with Reflect, you do extra damage. Protect Ring. Already learning Flare. Nothing else to learn here. Here. Just need to finish learning that magic. Alright, cool. And we'll save. Final Fantasy IX, Tresto. I love this series. Final Fantasy is probably one of my favorite franchises. A lot of these games we'll likely revisit. We'll break the single playthrough rule and come back to them with the second quest playthrough. Assume it is. Secure this spot. I'm talking like 5-10 years hence, Matt. Hey, Semitil, how you doing? Specifically games like Mass Effect, where you can get like 2 very different playthroughs depending on the decisions you make. Some few select titles, like a couple of the Final Fantasy games, Mass Effect as a series. Some of the other BioWare titles where you get different events depending on the decisions you make. We'll take one... Too clunky. Shock and Thunder Slash. Cool, they get you excited to have some of, some of Beatrix's powers. Like, Beatrix is your, like, this is what Clunky could be eventually if you level him up a bunch. Chrono Trigger warrants a second playthrough, I think, because we played the Super Nintendo version. We'll do the DS version. Yeah, we should equip those on everybody. She can keep the Will-Whisker. She's not going to be hitting anybody in the face. You should have the broadsword, though, I guess, even though it sucks. The whole thing is it's an upside-down castle. Out of curiosity, is anyone else going to PAX Prime? I asked this a couple times. Your chance to get some items you may have missed earlier in the game. Well, that's an interesting question. I was working for Chase, the bank. Started out in their mortgage call center and eventually got a job working as a tester and then later a test manager for Chase.com, the website, the mortgage part of the website. Did that for a while. Met my wife Andrea, who was working on her PhD at Ohio State University at the time, so I was in Ohio, where the Chase Mortgage Department is headquartered. Everything was going great. Andrea finished her PhD and got a job out here in California, where we live right now, and nothing about my job required that I physically be in Ohio. So I said, hey, can I just keep my job and keep working from California? And they said, my boss's boss, everybody basically said, yeah, that would be great. Go for it. You'll use less office space for us. So that worked out for about a year and a half. I was working remotely. And then the CEO of the company put out an edict saying that all work from home arrangements across the country needed to end, regardless of like performance, that kind of a thing. So that was kind of sad. They had to terminate me, lay me off. I talked with Andrea, though. I grew up pretty poor. I didn't get a lot of chances to take risks as a kid. I didn't go to college. So for a year, I'm trying this this Twitch thing to see if I can make this profession. Also, the plan would be that if Andrea and I have kids, I would like to be a stay-at-home dad, and she'll be the breadwinner, continuing working in physics or the industry. So it's kind of a chance to practice what's it like if we only have one major income source, being Andrea. Can we survive just the two of us? If the answer is yes, can we think about doing that with a kid? But whether or not that happens, as long as streaming continues to be successful, I'd like to make this be something I do 12 to 6 every day, indefinitely. But for the grace of my wife Andrea, I am here because she's awesome and is letting me try this, take this pretty huge risk and invest in Twitch. Oh, thank you, Tressa. I appreciate it. On a pretty good track right now. I don't expect to be making anywhere near a minimum wage from Twitch until maybe like the 2.5, 3 year mark. Definitely making lots of progress right now. Have momentum. Andrew and I talked about it, and she thinks we're at a good, healthy point right now, so not planning on stopping anytime soon. That was February, I talked with her though, I mean, unless if like something catastrophic happens in the next, was it 6 months from now? Yeah, 6 months. I'm sure the experiment will continue in February of next year. I've got a little bit of a more uphill battle, like, so if you try to compare against other streamers and how long it took them to get partnered and start making at least a minimum wage. Usually it's people who started with Twitch, 3 or 4 years ago, or around when it was still Justin.tv and there wasn't a lot of competition, and a lot of them are like sticking to a single game like Dota or League of Legends, which makes it a lot easier to get growth. I mean, you see how many people walk in when I'm playing Smash Brothers. Like, imagine having that every single day for some of those games in the top of the list. Try using, I think he uses the MP, so. No, thanks for saying that. Yeah, it's tough too. That's another challenge, that like it's easier to get popular quickly if you have a crazy bombastic personality. And points to the people who pulled it off. Like, everybody makes fun of PewDiePie, but there's a reason he's so successful. Keep a chill atmosphere, something you can listen to in the background while you're at work or doing your homework or whatever. I think we can sub out Vivi's weapon now. It looks like him having a high-level weapon doesn't really matter. Oh, but it sells Cloud Reaver. I guess that's the where I'm doing it a little bit differently. Some people, well, like, I don't personally enjoy that. I turn that thing off pretty quickly. But there are more people who enjoy that than there are people who don't, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's no worries, y'all. I'm just happy to have you here in the first place as a viewer. Thank you all for watching, following, sticking around, coming back. I appreciate it. Some people have the disposable income to toss some money at me to help me out too, which I'm reinvesting in the stream at every path. Like I said, we're probably going to pick up a TeamSpeak server. I'm looking into some alternatives to TeamSpeak. Like, there was a cool post on our Twitch today about this service called Discord that's supposed to be a alternative to TeamSpeak that looks really cool. So part of the sub money I'll be using will be picking one of those up so that subs can join. Still collaborating with my artist that I commissioned to do a redesign of the page layout, give me an avatar, give me business cards, that kind of a thing. Discord sucks, Kami? I still use TeamSpeak, but I saw a post that had a lot of glowing reviews of it. Thank you, Yahoo, and I appreciate that. Just having people in chat, and specifically people who talk, it's totally cool too if you just want to sit in chat and like listen in lurk mode. But I eventually run out of things to just talk about, and if someone's not interacting with me directly. And that's discouraging to walk-ins who come in and just see me silently playing whatever game I'm playing. So no matter what you're doing, even if you're just a number in the viewer count in the bottom and you never talk in chat, that's totally cool. If you talk every now and then, you're especially helpful. If you're subscribing, you're especially helpful. Thank you, everybody. There's nothing really wrong with TeamSpeak. I guess that it's expensive to get a large capacity server rather than just hosting it yourself. And it doesn't have a robust chat functionality like this Discord app apparently has. The TeamSpeak server I'm going to set up, I probably won't have subs in there live while I'm streaming. I will have a stream that's available, like a channel that's available for subs to sit in when they want to. I might pop in there when relevant, but I'll likely be in there all morning before stream sets up, so if someone wanted to come chat with me before stream, they can. They don't, Cloud Reaver. You could get partnered with, you know, a bunch of viewers that never ever type in chat. That's mostly just to my benefit, that when people type in chat, it keeps me talking, and not just like silently doing Chocobo Hot and Cold for hours. No, the plan for TeamSpeak right now is to have a sub-only channel, so only subscribers will be able to get in that room. There will be a guest channel that I'll give out the password to provisionally if we're playing a game with somebody, so like if Kami is going to play Diablo or Darkstar is going to appear in a dungeon, like snipe a key with us, they can pop in. But most of the time, myself, Hapax, Matt, and Flarewing will be in the host channel if the four of us are playing a game. I guess I'm not going to change the guest channel, so if you're a guest and want to hang out in there, you can. Awesome, Yahan. Hey, Darkstar. By the way, Darkstar, I got your message. I saw in chat, like, this morning. I think you messaged me something in chat last night. I stay in chat all night, but I usually am not actually looking at it. I minimize it after stream's over. So if you really need to get a hold of me for something, shoot me a Twitch message. That'll pop up as an email on my phone, and I can respond. But if it's not too late, I'm happy to throw a host to your friend. You can burn down my evil eye. That long hair. Don't know if I can progress from here. I feel like I've been stuck here before. This isn't the first time. Oh, we had a letter for him. Didn't Trump do that for a while? Not fan fiction, but he would, like, you know, pull up The Art of War, and if he didn't have something to talk about, he would just start, like, reading from a passage of The Art of War while he was playing Hearthstone. I don't know if I can get up there. No, maybe I can. There we go. Okay. It just looks like it's not accessible, but it is. Oh man, congrats, Cloud Reaver. When's her party? Is it today? So less soft at the guard blow. That won't hold you for longer, but congratulations. Your daughter's adorable. Cloud Reaver's a real-life friend of ours from Columbus, Ohio. He's also in the physics program there. Well, I guess if you notice, if you're in chat and you notice that I've just been quiet for a while, feel free to like throw some non sequitur or random question. Like, so Marstead, I see that you're doing Chocobo hot and cold grinding. How about them Knicks? Nice, Cloud Reaver. Congrats on making a person. Yeah, yes, you kept her alive for a year. I think some people learned some stuff. I laughed, I cried, it moved me, Bob. He's got auto regen. I can sub that out. Well, it's a pretty good item, though. I think Spirit and influences Steel Rate. Does everyone have auto regen in this party now? Can't use it. Finish learning MP attack. I'm not super excited by it, but I'll take it. You need to learn something new. Concentrate. Get what that does. I'll check here in a second. No, you should probably learn Bahamut, huh? Let me see what Concentrate does real quick. Yeah, it's expensive. Just raises the strength of spells. Oh, okay. Let's do it. Let's go with Bahamut then for now. What's she doing on half MP? 36. These are going to take a while. Use Mag LM Null. Okay, Mega Man, do you know what Mag LM Null does? Does it make it so that, like, your attacks ignore, they all treat it as physical damage or something? I never remember what it actually does. It's not totally straightforward. You're not totally straightforward. What are my thoughts on the root causes of the First World War? Archduke Ferdinand? Oh god. I'm horribly unprepared. I need to watch more documentaries. Are there any documentaries or Wikipedia articles you could recommend? Speaking of cool Wikipedia tangents, I was on one this morning. I think I started from reading about Coco the gorilla, you know, the big scam about the gorilla that can speak in sign language but actually can't because there's no scientific data showing that she's learned anything, sadly. And ended up reading about P equals NP. There's this unsolved problem in computer science. You're trying to find out, you know, it's like trivially easy for a computer to verify the solution to a difficult problem. If you say, hey, here's the difficult problem, here's what the solution is, can you confirm that that's correct, yes or no? It can do that like instantly. But getting a computer to solve that same problem without having a solution pre-written for it turns out to be extremely difficult. But no one's proven either way whether or not that needs to be the case. Like, the prevailing theory is that, yes, that needs to be the case, you know. I'll post the link to it, it's pretty cool. Is that a YouTube video, Leon? Ever made a website? Yes. Helped Andrea make the CTA public website using Drupal. Goku. Sephiroth's really not that hot as shit. Here's the Wikipedia article I was talking about. So everyone is like behaving on the assumption that P does not equal NP. That just because you can verify a solution quickly doesn't mean you can come up with a solution quickly. Think. Oh yeah, Yahon? I don't know if there's anything I can actually do here. Try something drastic. Here we go. I'm gonna like flying kick it. Oh, interesting, Yahan. Even though nothing had really changed about you. That was a pretty cool scene. There's like a chest up here. Nice, look at that. Paid off. Later, Cloud Reaver. Thank you. Have fun in your preparation, and congrats again. Do we already have a barrette? I think we may have. Oh wait, is it a... Maybe it's a girls-only thing. Yeah, we have one. That's fine. Extra item, can't complain. I haven't used the Steam group for anything. Darkstar. What they're referring to in Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO we're also been playing on stream lately. There's this series, very long series of side quests involving Mughals that you kind of need to do if you want to level up your character efficiently. But there's a lot of them and people don't like them because of how many there are, how much running around they involve. Oh, I see, Yahan. I wonder if that was specifically true. Water mirror. These are all referencing a series of bosses in Final Fantasy I. And are part of a game that I think there might have been some cutting happening, because you only actually do one of these 4 things. Everything else is handled via cutscene. So I'm wondering if there was originally supposed to be a like worldwide search for these 4 places and like 4 different boss fights, but you end up only fighting one of them. The Last Express. Hey Mega Man, how you been? Oh, there more megaman.exe. There's also Mega Man X. How you doing? What? What's up, bro? So we still haven't reached the boss fight in this game that is the biggest risk to a speedrunner. Like, the penultimate boss, or very close to the end, it's like maybe within the last 20 minutes of a speedrun, there's a boss that can just totally wipe your party if you get unlucky RNG. This is I understand this is a very stressful game to speedrun. It's a Persia, interesting. I'm excited to throw more RPGs on the schedule. And Bahamut summon. Aw, that sounds nice, Yahan. Okay, we're gonna set our time limit for steal attempts. Let's see. I think we'll give it 6 minutes, so till 1:17 on my clock. Still haven't stolen it. We'll call it a night. Kill the boss. I think he has a pretty good weapon that we want, so maybe we'll go at it a little bit longer than normal. Still haven't found Master Thief. Second item. I wonder if he's intentionally targeting Zidane because he took the mirror. It'd be kind of clever if they did it that way. Hey, there's the last item. Holy crap, that was super fast. Alright, gonna go ahead and kill him then. Do I use something different? I can just like Kashida. Yeah, we still gotta get the... Well, maybe it was just because it was an uncommon seal. That's like a 1 in 4 chance. That sounds really cool, Leon. That actually sounds kind of comparable to that Titanic Adventure Out of Time adventure game that my wife Andrea is really into. And I think she's gonna put that on the sub-block list at some point. Solution 9. I don't know why any of his trance abilities have the names that they have. Oh, that's interesting art style. Daga sword. See, Zidane's attack here might finish him off. I have not played Sunless Sea. What kind of game is it? Absolutely, Yahan. And it probably gives you a break too, right? Imagine as much of a joy it is to raise kids, it's nice to get a break every now and again. All is one. One is all is one. You'll never break the seal. I gotta walk all the way back out? Man. Okay. I haven't played FTL. I know that's a deep sin. I have the soundtrack to FTL. I used it in my D&D adventure. See you, Nilu. Godspeed. Yeah, that's really cool, Yahan. I didn't get any of that as a kid. I think that it took... Furthest I ever went as a kid from Chicago, where I grew up, was Texas. Grandparents took me to Disney World once. That's in Florida. So it wasn't until adulthood with Andrea that I've really gone anywhere else. My first ever international trip was last year, when we went to Nepal. Kind of like hard mode for your first ever international trip. It's one of those places where you can't open your mouth while you're taking a shower. You don't get hepatitis E. Alright, activating traps. Who'd have thunk it? But I could see that being immensely valuable to a developing child, like to see that other places in the world do things very differently. The internet was very helpful for me as a stand-in for actual travel. Sounds pretty cool. You may have mentioned it on stream before. That sounds kind of sort of familiar. Prompted the outrage that I hadn't played FTL. Alright. Step out. We still got to get Amarant back. He's having a bit of a angst moment. That's true, Yahan. Yeah, from my perspective, it was like drive a day, sleep in the car, drive another day, get out in Texas, go to a restaurant, go to a wedding, go home. But did you raise a good point? That is actually a pretty far distance. I guess there's not as much difference in culture, Yahan, like is in Europe, where you can drive a couple hours and just be somewhere that feels totally different. Like going to Italy from Finland, you're getting a totally different experience in history, but like driving from, I don't know, Chicago, Illinois to Missouri or to Indiana or to Ohio, like they're really not that different. Now, if you go really far, if you go to like, you know, the Rockies, Colorado, or you make it to either of the coast, then you start to see some pretty big differences. But those big general areas, the states aren't wildly, crazily different. Right. Yeah, I had to learn that Europe is way smaller than I think it is in my head, and California is way bigger than I think it is in my head. Like, for some reason, before I moved out to California, I was just always under the impression that, yeah, San Francisco and Los Angeles must be within like a day's driving distance. Maybe you could go there in an afternoon. But no, it's like a 6-7 hour drive. It's like a whole day. It's almost like saying that we had some friends come out here, and they're visiting us in San Francisco, and our friends also had a relative that lives in San Diego, right, which is, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours away from us. Someone's like, you're going to California, you're not visiting your relative? What's wrong with you? It's like, well, it's like saying, oh, you're going to Columbus, Ohio, and you're not stopping in New York City? What's wrong with you? It's a big jump. The state is gigantic. Hey, Amarant. Always come back. Yeah, exactly, Summit Hill. It's pretty crazy. Texas is huge, too. Texas, number 2 after Alaska, I want to say. Like, when we moved from Ohio to California, one whole day of the trip, we drove. One whole day of the trip was just driving through Texas, east to west. Nice, Yahan. How easy is it to get around in the EU now? I imagine there was a time where you needed to have a passport just to cross a border. I imagine it's not that complex anymore, right? It's harder now to just drive into Canada than it used to be. You used to just need a driver's license. There was some random weekend where Andrea had a friend in Canada who was getting married, or I don't remember what maybe she was graduating or something, and she just wanted to, on a dime, drive up to Canada and go visit. And I didn't have a passport because I never did any traveling as a kid. She was really upset that I didn't have a passport. But if it had been before 9/11, then we could have just driven up there and it wouldn't have been a problem. Just in case we get into a battle on the way out. I don't think we're going to have that problem. The schedule update, we're playing Final Fantasy IX for another 90 minutes. Then it's Mass Effect 2 from 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock Pacific. There will be Dragon Age tomorrow. I say it's 99% likely. Hey, thanks for the follow, Aloria. Good to have you. Probably we'll start between 11 and 12 Pacific tomorrow. Huh, interesting, Kami. I wonder if it's different going the other way. We did the research and found, like, I called the border where we would have crossed, and they said, no, if you don't have a passport, or you have to have this special kind of driver's license, it's like an enhanced California border crossing license, or Canada, America border crossing license you can get through. I didn't have that either, so I had no reason to go into Canada. Conquer all 4 locations at once. So this part of the game, you have to go fight these 4 boss fights at the same time, except you don't actually do all 4 boss fights. You only do one of them, and the other 3 pairs of characters are just a cutscene. So it makes me wonder, did they cut something from the game? Was there originally going to be a set of 4 boss fights, and they just kind of sped it up here? Confident in my sense of direction. I'm gonna bring in Clunky to remove his gear. Interesting. Alright, Clunky, what you got? Let's give you the crappy items. It's kind of nice to have a placeholder item to equip them with. Nothing else. May as well take the sword, no one's gonna use it. Yeah, Orichalcum. Orichalcum, which took me a long time to... I think that's the way you're supposed to pronounce it. Orichalcum. It's a famous mythological nettle like mithril. In Final Fantasy, it's usually the ultimate nettle. Happiness. Quina? Yeah, I'm trying to get her monsters when we run into them. I'm not going way out of my way to do it. But this playthrough, I haven't used her too much. I really like blue magic in a lot of the titles. It's just a little underpowered in 9. Like Aqua Breath is one of her attacks that should do lots of damage, but it misses. Maybe it whiffs like 50% of the time. Give him auto region, why not? Bug killer. Well, that could be good. So running auto reflect. Swimming Bahamut, that all looks great. Hey, welcome back, Naboo. Yeah, I don't like the way you acquire blue magic in this game, Happiness. There are other titles in the series where you just acquire blue magic by having the enemy use the ability on you. I think I like that much better. Having to reduce them to very low health is kind of a pain in the butt. Well, that's easy. Yeah, the Cactuars. They're a classic Final Fantasy opponent that has a extremely high evasion and uses an attack that deals exactly 1,000 damage, 1,000 needles. Some games have like added that into like 10,000 needles. Fiery Mountain. Girl talk? You mean like the DJ? I see, Yahan. Take Quina, because we're gonna need her anyway. Yep. I like Cactuars. Cool concept for a monster. A lot of the classic Final Fantasy monsters are pretty neat. Tonberries, Malboros. This is a problem in the first Final Fantasy MMO, Final Fantasy 11. They had all these cool iconic monsters, but their abilities are just too strong to work in that sort of setting. So like being hit by a Malboro with its attack that applies every negative status effect in the game on you, like that's too strong and no one's going to want to fight an enemy like that if they can fight one that's easier. So Final Fantasy XIV, the more recent Final Fantasy MMO, solves that problem smartly in that all of those iconic abilities of those enemies, they still use them, but they're all dodgeable. Like they put an indicator on the screen that they're about to attack you with it, and you can move out of the way. So they still have it, but you're not guaranteed to get hit by it. It keeps them interesting as a thing you can fight. Vivi and Clunky. I think the next one is the Earth Shrine? Question mark. We'll see. About to find out. Could have looked a little bit more closely at that map. It actually gives you a map telling you where to go. Earth Shrine's the one I think we go to, though. We'll see. This is the Desert Palace. What, the airship music in this? I remember wanting to play Skies of Arcadia, but not getting to it. Thought it was here. Let me look on the back of the mirror. think it's in this area. Earth mirror. Oh, great. That's not helpful. Let's pop back out. I'm pretty sure this is where we want to be. Wait, what are you saying? Oh, power survey. So we have to come back here. Sonic Boom is the game that has the sweet... Oh, wait, no, that's Sonic CD. A lot of rock and Sonic music. Can't top Escape from the City, though. We've seen this windy valley before. We're headed to now. Really, really bad Wii U game. Is this the one where Knuckles has a scarf or something? Or Sonic has a scarf? There was a while there where, like, give someone else control of your franchise and you have to give that character a scarf. So, like, there's Cloud Strife in Kingdom Hearts. There's Sonic. There's, Link in Hyrule Warriors. There might be some other scarf havers, guest character scarf havers. Power is protected by the shaking ground. We want auto float for this fight, if I remember right. We might already have it. He has. Yeah. It's the Earth Shrine, so they use Earthquake on you. And floating avoids the damage from Earthquake. Makes sense. Should be fine. Sonic 2006 is the PS3 title where like Sonic kisses a human girl or something like that. I never played it, I just heard it was bad. Silver the Hedgehog. Can this thing not land except on grass? I guess not. Let me see. Alright, so this is definitely going to be up by the Desert Palace. I just thought we had to go there next. So the enemies that they're fighting, I believe Marilith is the fire fiend from Final Fantasy 1. It's like a Medusa-looking, Lamia-looking chick. Lich was the earth fiend, the skeleton. Kraken was the water fiend. Looks like a kraken. And I don't remember the wind fiends. It's been a long time since I played FF1. Somewhere in this general area. Here it is. I see a Yahan. Music is cool. Sure do. What? Don't say that, Zidane. Don't be mean to Quina. Quina seems okay with it, so. Ground just shake? Oh, I should be pressing buttons there. This is empty. I feel like this could have originally been 4 complete dungeons, which you have to run through in order or something like that. But they reduced it to cutscenes and just one boss fight. But maybe it was always intended to just be the one boss fight. Go, go, go! Place to put it here. Let's do it. So these fiends didn't show up. There's also 4 fiends in Final Fantasy IV. They're different. They're anthropomorphic. Rubicant, Valvalis, yeah, there's Merilith. Forget the names of the other 2. They changed the translation of the water fiend a bit. It was like a turtle monster. Guardians of Terra. Cagnazzo. The Earth Fiend is a reference to Dante's Inferno, I think. Man, learning lessons, Amarat. It's a wind card. Work together. I feel like sending Vivi and Steiner is smart. You should try to have both of them in your party. If you're going to use Steiner, you should also use Vivi because the sword magic is really strong. Aw, character. True meaning of fear. Let's go. Scarmiglione. Ah, they changed their names then from the original SNES translation. Barbariccia was Valvalis, I think, in the SNES version. That stealing stuff. Not much trouble. Use Mighty Guard, I don't think I need to. For funsies. Problem with Mighty Guard is that it doesn't last for the whole fight. There are a couple Final Fantasies where casting Protect just stays on once you use it. That is not one of those. I'm just gonna have him spam steal and she can try to attack him. Or it can try to attack him. Quina's race don't have a gender. I'm supposed to cast Blizzard Magic? Earth Fiend. Does she have a White Wind? Use that top off. I need to toss her a Ether. Oh, interesting, Mega Man. Yeah, so Final Fantasy IV is definitely one I'm gonna have to play twice because the DS remake is so wildly different from the original. It has so many enhancements in it. So I'll probably play both versions at some point. Look, see, Mighty Guard already wore off. It wasn't really worth it. I'm gonna give that 3 more steal attempts, and then Zidane's going into murder mode. See where the magic hammering it. The game plus only. Okay. So like a super boss or something, Mega Man. This isn't one of them. It might just be Final Fantasy VI is one where if you deplete the enemy's MP, it kills them. There's a couple enemies where the strategy of killing them is to just rasp them until they die. It's not very common. Lucky miss. I would have killed him otherwise. Hey D-Tech, how you doing? He's trolling. I googled the meaning of that. Ooh, a bunch of damage there. Let's see if I can recover. I guess I have to use high potions. Remember, White Wind only heals for the amount of health that you have when you activate it. So if you have less health than the amount of healing from a high potion, I might kill her. We'll see. Ouch. Zane didn't have to pick her up. How many hit points this boss has? Okay, that's good. You keep using Earthquake. Zero boss, nice. You keep using Earthquake. That sounds great. And then White Wind will heal them both for like 505. And then we can put Rex on White Wind duty. $455, whatever. Yep, you keep doing that. Nothing but Earthquake. Sounds great. Whoa, bro. The amount of damage that does is like all over the place. Sometimes it does like 600. Ouch. Knows it does that much. What's the other one? Okay, good. That's what we wanted it to do. Auto regen would have been nice on Quina in this fight, Rex. Quina is not yet at this stage of being able to survive a single hit, but will be after this next use of White Wind. Hey Shoryuken, how you been? Good to see you again. We're rollicking good time here, playing FF9 and Mass Effect 2 later. You have to steal an item from Zeromus? Wow, that's cool. The dark matter or whatever? I remember being able to steal something from Zeromus in the original game. Question I need to ask you. Do you love Zidane? Answer the question. I guess enough time has passed. You think about like love stories in movies, like it's sort of like when people joke about video game logic, like, oh, it doesn't make sense that items floating in the air. It's like, it's an abstraction. You know, you can't tell a convincing, realistic love story in a 90-minute movie. It's impossible. Love doesn't happen that way. You don't fall for somebody in the, 30 minutes of screen time you have together. So when there's a love story in a movie, you need to look at it as an abstraction. You know, if there was an actual story and it wasn't in film form, there was more time for that to grow. Same goes for video games when they have them. That doesn't mean that all love stories are immediately free from being sappy and stupid. Like, there are some versions that there is literally no reason for the characters to form an attraction to each other, but I think that you have to, at some level, have a basic amount of forgiveness and willingness to suspend your disbelief when it comes to romance in most medias. Less of an excuse in a book. You have a lot of time in a book, a longer fiction novel, to establish a relationship like that. I don't know. Maybe I do it because I don't know what motivates me. It's dark matter? Nice. That's cool, Mega Man, that actually matters. He doesn't give us... Right, Amaran having a character arc there. Let's not take Rex with us. Let's do Dream Team. So the real Dream Team would be using Steiner instead of Amarant, since then you have the classic party of Thief, Black Mage, White Mage, Fighter. And that's probably the true answer for Zidane happiness. Shimmering Isle, right? It's gonna be a while before we can come back to... Hey HDL, how you doing? Good to see you as usual. Oh god, Mega Man. Some games will do things like that. I like that method of New Game Plus. Like Torchlight will do that. Shimmering Island hype. I'm gonna update the stream title. No worries. There's no obligation. Hop in for 5 minutes a year or 6 hours a day, minus travel time. Just happy to have you. Here, the people of Esogaza call it the Spirit Road. Let's do it. Let's go. I think we are able to turn back. After a long time. But they're like giving you a chance to do some of the mini games in the world before you go through. Graphics is a cool cutscene if you want to tab in here. Why in the world would you pick Hide over Dual Cast, Mega Man? They like buff Hide in some way? Graphics continue. This plot is kind of sort of similar to Final Fantasy IV, except instead of traveling to the moon, you're traveling to this other planet, Terra, that we've learned about. Still don't have all the details about what Terra is and why it's different from Earth. Gaia, I think. Hey, what's up, bro? Time has come at last. Who the heck are you? What is your name? What's your problem? I'm trying to tell you my name. Do you believe a given name has meaning? Bewitched by the light of the blue moon. I guess they're saying that maybe Gaia is a moon of Terra. That or maybe Terra has a moon that's blue in color and Terra has one that's red. Oh, that's interesting, Mega Man. See that being pretty strong. Are you totally impervious to attack while hiding? So what's the minimum number of playthroughs to get everything? Oh man, Heck dies. This enemy shows up in quite a few Final Fantasies. It's also in Final Fantasy 14. I want to get that half MP set up. Should do that sooner rather than later. Yeah, this game's fairly pretty for a PS1 title. No, I didn't mean to do that. It's okay. Fix it. So Blizzaga might kill it too. I see. What do the copies let you do? Like, why would you want to have more than one? Amarant's kind of like a monk ninja, so he's pretty close to it. It's like having two thieves in the party. Dex-based attacker. Melee attacker. Well, I guess first things first, let's get rid of autoflow. We don't need it anymore. There's no reason to have add status, because his current weapon doesn't use the status effect. We could try to get auto regen, if I can make room for it. I don't know if I can easily, though. Let's do that. Really haven't had that as a problem lately. I think I'm fine with what he said. I only can learn half MP. Already has half MP. I'm gonna have to dump level up to get it though. I think it's worth it. Okay, how about you? You're still learning half MP. Don't need all this stuff. I dump level up for one, I may as well do it for two. Yeah. Amarant in the original title. Oh, he doesn't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. For behold, the 386. Spectacle of graphics and sound. Really just restore HP, I guess? And Flea Gill, which we'll never use. I'll do this, I don't know what that does. Restore HP, what are you? Restores HP automatically when near death. Something to learn that we don't have yet, but not super exciting. up spirit a little bit. I think we found out that steal chance is influenced by your spirit total in some way. May as well make it the highest stat we have. Like the cool typography for all the different zones as you enter them. Yeah, happiness. My favorite song in the game is in this area. It's called You're Not Alone. Don't think we're going to get to it today. Probably longer than an hour from now before we get to that part. Auto region is quite good in this game. It lets you avoid having to heal in between battles. Because when you're just dealing with random battles, you're usually taking an amount of damage that's enough that auto region can take care of it. Hey, movers. These guys first showed up in Final Fantasy VI. They're a primary way to level up quickly in Final Fantasy VII. On piano, nice, happiness. The core theme of this game is quite good. Are you talking about Final Fantasy IV, Mega Man? I was talking about auto region in this game. I think this is the correct solution to some animations being too long. I mentioned that before, but starting with Final Fantasy VII, summon animations start to get really, really long, and they're cool, but they take such a long time. So they tried to fix it in Final Fantasy VIII by giving you something to do while the animation is happening, spamming the square button to boost it, and that was stressful and unfun. This one just, most of the time it shortens the animation and does the damage, but occasionally it will play the full animation, and it plays the full animation the first time you use it. I think it's probably the correct implementation. Talking about restore HP. Yeah, I will probably never turn that on. Man, what's up with this girl up here? Whoa. She has a tail. Zidane has a tail, which is one of those like OBT dubs things in Final Fantasy IX. He just happens to have one and they don't really address it. Hey Exol, how you doing? I'm gonna get Holy for her eventually, so she has something she can cast. What's that, HTL? Very happy. Right. I don't think that's actually a split. Kind of looks like it could be. Hey Loria, thanks again for the follow. How you doing? Oops. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Oh, very good. Yes, Amarant is a badass, I agree. Eloria, do you have a favorite Final Fantasy? Oh no, that's not good. Bad timing. Just one though, right? Please don't kill Dagger. Yeah, you're fine, man. PG-13. I mean, the stream becomes decidedly not PG-13 when my wife Andrea is online, so she swears like a sailor. Yeah, they all have auto haste on. Auto haste is the mandatory passive, as mentioned before. I feel it's mandatory. If it's made available. Ah, good choice. I think 6 is my favorite. So y'all get to hear the spiel since Happiness and Aloria are in here. The goal of this channel is to play through every awesome game that's ever been made. Take one full playthrough. Knowing that that's an impossible task. We all have our Steam libraries of games that we don't have time to get to, but we're going to try it anyway. Every title in the Final Fantasy series is included in that list, including some of the more controversial ones like 8 and 13. We've already beaten 5, 6, and 7. We're going to beat 9 soon, and we started 10 earlier this week. Other games we've been playing include the Zelda series. We beat Minish Cap yesterday and transitioned into Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. Which, playing the Master Quest for the first time. Master Quest is really cool. If you've never played it before, I highly recommend it. It's like a whole new game when it comes to the dungeon design. So can I go down here? Yeah, 4 is really good. I'm excited to get to that one eventually. Matt there is referencing we had a subscriber day recently where subs get to pick what games we were playing, and Kami picked this game called Uniracers. You are a unicycle that rides around. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, the core resource in any kind of like turn-based Japanese RPG or ATB style RPG is how many actions you can take. So anything that lets you take more actions is fundamentally very powerful. Hey D-Rock, how you been, man? Ugh, I gotta do both eventually. I'll probably do maybe the GBA version first, not the PS1 version because of the load times. And then we'll revisit it and do the DS version in the future, since the versions are so different. I probably won't play the NES Final Fantasy III, just because of how poorly it's aged in comparison. We'll probably do the DS version exclusively. But like 4 for the Super Nintendo or GBA stands alone. It doesn't require a remake. Try casting Meteor. I should be able to get it on the DS. I can check Amazon right now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, it's like 37 bucks. No, not cheap, but not crazy expensive either. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do the Steam version. I don't know, not that one. Haven't really liked the PC ports of Square titles that I've seen so far. Mega Flare is pretty awesome. Not much D-Rock. Pretty happy Friday. Confirmed we will be playing Dragon Age Inquisition, continuing the blind playthrough with my wife Andrea. Starting around 11, somewhere between 11 and 12 Pacific, depending on when she's ready. Oh, Matt, yeah, good looking out. That would be easiest. I have 3, but not 4. Man, these, look, spam deleted. Twitch was faster to banning that, recognizing it as spam before I was able to hit the ban button. Okay, let's see. almost has Bahamut, but not quite. Still working on half MP. Doesn't have Kiraga yet. You can switch to the High Mage staff, get a little bit more magic damage in there. I don't know if we actually want to change any of these. Gold Hairpin might be the best. In a lot of games, the Gold Hairpin reduces MP cost by half, but no such luck in this one. Do you have anything else to learn? Berserk, I guess. Maybe it's just Eiko who gets access to Holy. Dagger doesn't get Holy, does she? Well, I guess she has better damage summons, so it's only fair. Yeah, I'd prefer to avoid buying it. 40 bucks is quite a bit. Ooh, yeah. Should do After Years. I haven't played it. So, like, compare the After Years to me, the other Final Fantasy remake or sequels. So, compared to Final Fantasy X, 2, and compared to like Crisis Core. I feel like Crisis Core is a good. It's a prequel, but it's a good follow-up. Has its issues, but it's a worthwhile, playable game with a decent story. These After Years like super weird. Later, Leon. Yep, you too. Yes, we will play 8. Oh, cool, D-Rock. I heard about that bundle on Reddit. Is that just like at any Best Buy? That's a really good deal. Can you play them in any order, Kami? Yeah, I might need to think about that. I have a really old TV. I got it around the time that HDTV started becoming a thing. And there's some problems with it. Like I can't use it as effectively as I'd like to with my surround system. It doesn't like HDCP encryption. It's certainly good enough. Like I'm playing Final Fantasy 9 on it right now, but I haven't had a convincing reason to get an Xbox One yet, and that would be one, and I'd be able to play some Destiny with Matt. Favorite Final Fantasy villain? Probably Kefka. Yeah, I'd love to play Destiny. It'd be a fun game to play on stream. It's playthroughable in the way that we're playing through Final Fantasy 14, right? Like there's a main story, max level, and after that you kind of like grind for gear like Diablo. What is my favorite character in 9? Probably Vivi. A sap. Vivi's the best. Gotcha, Kami. Right on. Cool. I know there's a lot of specific love for Final Fantasy IV in Japan. Like the way the West feels about 6, I think that's the way Japan feels about 4. Yeah. That's high praise, Kami. I believe Vivi is like Hironobu Sakaguchi, the creator of Final Fantasy, he said it's his favorite character in the whole series. Do I want Demi Shock? It probably does exactly what it sounds like, and I don't know if I really need that. Live without it. About to get Reflect. About to get half MP as well. I'm about to learn a lot of things. A couple more fights first. That's high praise, Kami. We'll have to do it. That would make sense to do it right after. I don't think I'm going to do 10-2 right after 10. I feel like the pain of 10-2 will be lessened if there's more distance between it and the main story of Final Fantasy X. Yeah, Demi. Ron Ball. Is it not ATB, Kami? I figured it just had the same battle style as 4. Graphics, if you're Alt-Tab, you want to tab in this cool FMV cutscene. Oh, cool, Kami. Apparently that airship. Is what the big eyeball in the sky from Dagger's childhood nightmare. Oh, I like the effectiveness of magic based on the phase of the moon. One of those, like, that's a good boardroom idea. Not the best deployed mechanic. Go ahead and take a white mage with us. I should get Kiraga a little bit sooner. She can equip the Nervous Plate? Interesting. Oh, there's Holy. I think only she gets it. Let's equip that ribbon, start learning Medine, also known as Meduin from Final Fantasy VI, or Maduin, father of Terra. They're intended to be the same, just different localization spellings. We possess no age. We were built this way. Why do you rest? See, this is part of the typography they have in this game, where you kind of get the sense that these people speak in a monotone from the way their text boxes are formatted. Without voice acting, you can get that sense. Yeah, go for it, Mega Man. Ah! Krang. Gotcha, Mega Man. Thank you. Is that information, like, made very clear? Well, I guess I'll just read the wiki article. Yeah, thank you for asking permission, Ilaria. Chill out, Zidane. Yeah, so this is Zidane's angst moment. It starts now and ends at the conclusion of the You're Not Alone song. Oh, cool. Are you in France, Ilaria? We have a few European viewers. Yeah. What's the new set, Matt? Is this one that's been in the PTR or something new that's been announced? Awesome! That's really cool. Now we have a Finnish viewer from Spain, Germany. This is a good time, I think. I start streaming a little bit closer to EU prime time. Girl that led us here said something strange again. Waiting for you in an underground laboratory. Perfect. Chill out, Eiko. Develop into vessels. They're both men and women, right? Asexual beings would lack the genetic diversity to adapt to new environments. So yes. Ah, very good, Matt. Which is probably wise. You mentioned you got burned already from paying too close attention. When the souls of Terra and Gaia mix, Terra will be integrated into the larger Gaia. Souls flow as the planets turn. Bleeding knowledge is useless to vessels. Information is given to decay. Gaia's blue, Terra red. So we're talking about flow of souls and these people being vessels. Hilaria. My wife Andrea went to Montpellier. She's a physicist in the United States, so she went to a science conference there. She said Montpellier was very pretty, and excuse my butchering of its pronunciation. I'm very bad with French words. Saying HDL, if you ever feel lacking for that sweet, sweet premium Marstead content, you can always go back and watch on YouTube. Every game playthrough we've done, I've saved the VODs permanently on YouTube because they don't have an upload limit. So everything from the first game we played, Earthbound, today is available there. Genomes in this village. Interesting. Talk about a letdown. No, we'll see Mega Man and the plot. Might be a reason for it. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's time to be right after your thesis too, right, Matt? And when you have theoretically some downtime between your OSU grad school work and your new job in California. I think it's quote 38. Right, Matt. Exactly. Yeah, and if Kami wants to get on that too, I'll probably set aside a day or free play day or something to do some Diablo. Or maybe I'll do it, off normal hours. I expect to get very few or no walk-ins during Diablo. There's a lot of people who stream it. You gotta have probably in excess of 100 concurrent viewers to really get anybody popping into your stream playing a game like that. So it will just be for fun. Cool, Kami. I'll probably do Witch Doctor. Terra has always absorbed new planets to survive. The souls of the people of Terra will occupy the genomes. Why does that have to be so tedious? So they've named the dude, the old guy with the black armor, they just named him Garland. And they're saying once Garland tried to use a more forceful method but failed. So Garland is the first boss of Final Fantasy I and also the last boss of Final Fantasy I. There's some fan theory that says that it's the same Garland that's in this game, since there's some time-traveling voodoo in FF1. Who knows, though? I think it's just supposed to be a cute little reference. Probably a new expansion pack happiness. Still need to get a druid. We're supposed to help Garland. Happiness, have you played Reaper of Souls? It improves, I agree, vanilla Diablo 3 was a bad game in a lot of ways. But they're really trying to go back and repair it, and I feel like Reaper of Souls today is a good game. Play it too long and it will trigger your existential boredom really quickly. There isn't really a Final Fantasy timeline. The only character that really canonically sticks around is Gilgamesh, and that's kind of a joke more than a serious thing. But it's more like an anthology. Yeah, there is no timeline. They have some similar themes in common, but... Gilgamesh works because his whole thing is the dimension hopping in the cleft of dimension, so it would make sense if he goes across parallel worlds. But it's not like Zelda where, Square intends you to think that it's all on one planet. Oh man, Cloud Reaver. It's so much better now. It's so much better. The auction house was the worst thing. It was fundamentally opposed to the basic idea of Diablo, where it's like, try to get sweet loot in the most efficient possible manner. When you have an auction house, the most efficient possible manner is now use the auction house. They've actually gotten rid of trading too, which is very good. That was annoying in Diablo 2. It was the same thing, like, trade efficiently. The better way to play the game. I was reading that, so I was a kid when Final Fantasy VI came out, and I loved the game, but apparently Final Fantasy enthusiasts were pissed off that 6 didn't involve the crystals in any way. Ridiculous. Yeah, Kami, I remember hearing about Diablo 3 having an auction house and thinking like, oh, that's great, trading in Diablo 2 is such a pain in the ass. That will remove the pain in the ass. But it was one of those things that didn't really explore what it meant at the end of the day. It's a totally different game now. Diablo 2 or Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls is, I wouldn't even describe it as being the same game as vanilla. There's no crystals in 6. I guess Magicite, kind of, but they're not intended to be like elemental crystals. 7, I guess you could argue materia. Not really an 8. All the classic Final Fantasies, though, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 11, and 14. I didn't play 13, so I don't know if there's crystals in that one. Bunch of wimps. Can I ask you something? No. What a stupid question. First memory is of the face of a guy I had to fight. I like the relationship, like, Amaranth is like the dark side of Zidane. Is that the 4 Warriors of Light, Kami? The one that's, like, Bravely Default is a spiritual successor to that game, I think. What was the Wii title? You're not thinking of the last story, right? Pandemonium. Pandemonium's in a couple of Final Fantasies as well. And so begins Zidane's angst. Have you played any of the Crystal Chronicles games, Kami? The GameCube one's really good, but only in the context of playing with other people. It is garbage if you try to play it single player. When we do it on stream, it will be with others. Hooray, Moogle's here too. I want to have at least one of everything. Bistro fork. I might want several of these. That looks good. I might want more tents. I think I'm running low. Yeah. You want to try Mognet? Okay. You create your own Mognet out here. Oh yeah, I heard about those, the WiiWare games. WiiWare rubbed me the wrong way. Stillness in motion. Yeah. Hope you can still get those. I don't know if they've shut down the Wii store. I don't think they have yet. Heightened recognition of visual stimuli is unnecessary condition for bodies but used as vessels. Putting our party together. Is anyone in the basement? No Nope, nothing important. Schedule update. We got about another 29 minutes of Final Fantasy IX. We'll be taking a short break to feed the cats, run to the restroom, and then Mass Effect 2 for the last 3 hours. I think we have at least one more DLC mission in Mass Effect 2. I don't remember what it is, though. We've done Overlord and Firewalker. There's one that you want to wait to do until after the end of the game. There might be another one. Oh, Lair of the Shadow Broker. That's probably what we're doing today. We have some time remaining. We'll do Garrus's loyalty mission and try to clean up some of the last remaining stuff after that. This is the Dregs party right here. Hey, Flumpy Chump. How you been? Good to see you again. Yes, we'll do Lair of the Shadow Broker. We're not going to beat Mass Effect 2 today, but very likely we'll beat it the next time we play it. Yeah? Cool, Mega Man. Ooh, that's a sinister name. That's really what he said. Heaven grant the wandering souls eternal repose. After Mass Effect 2, we're jumping right into Mass Effect 3. Don't think there will be any auto replaces after Mass Effect 3. I was thinking about making that like a BioWare block, but I need to open more up to the voting system. So once we beat 3, whatever replaces 3 will be determined by stream vote. I'll be updating those totals over this weekend. We got maybe 2 or 3 more sessions before we beat 9, I think. 12 years ago, I lost one of my most prized genomes. I created him and sent him to Gaia to disrupt the cycle of souls there. You are that genome. I'm glad you've returned. Looks like he is. Ah, very nice, Limpy. To keep a relaxing atmosphere for you. No intention of destroying Gaia, I only wish to make Gaia into Terra. Of course, not everything went as planned. Another one built as you were, he may be the one who threw a wrench in my gears. Oh man, who could it be? Really, Mega Man? Oh, that's weird. That sounds really cool. And they're Final Fantasy subtitles? Pandemonium is at least in 8 and 9. I'm trying to think what other games. CHDL. Instructed the genomes be vessels for the souls of the people of Terra. 24 years ago I gave life to a genome that was very much like you. The will was too strong to make him into a proper vessel, and I even considered discarding him. Then I thought I should put his strength to use. I sent that genome as my servant to disrupt the cycle of souls on Gaia. You and he are so much alike. When I sent a guy, I might also be called your brother. Kuja! Oh, shit! There's a similar twist in FF4. I hear you, Flumpy. I got into him because of Earthbound way back in the day. Do you like action RPGs at all? Like, you know, Mass Effect or Fallout, Skyrim, even like Secret of Mana? The mission was unbecoming of a genome, but it was imperfect for the mission I gave. Appreciate how cool the art is in these levels. Like, you know, like I said, the PS1 and the N64 haven't aged well as consoles, but these games in particular, because they use pre-rendered backgrounds, the backgrounds are just like matte paintings. So cool paintings on every map we go to, especially in this area of the world. Best disruption of the flow of souls is brought about by war. I think we might actually get to You're Not Alone. Who discarded you? He dropped you onto Gaia, the world he would destroy. I still need to play Skyrim. It'll be a blind playthrough when I do it on stream. Yeah, what exactly do you gain? We must sort the souls. Disrupt the cycle and drain it, filling the void with the souls of Terra. Gaia's souls are gone and Gaia becomes Terra. So it kind of has a life force. There's this sort of like life stream idea that is prevalent throughout the Final Fantasies. Basic notion of reincarnation that I think Hirano Sakaguchi is pretty into. Ifatri is a soul divider. The mist is the stagnant souls. Even now, the tree blocks the flow of souls, while it lets those of Terra flow freely. Be the true form of this planet. I've got my kitty you done fucked up now spray. Ben is very upset that I haven't fed him yet. Yeah, no, that's a problem, Plumpy. I'm at an even worse case. See if I can grab Ben if he comes back here. Usually when Andrea, my wife, gets home, she'll pick up the cats and show them off on stream. That cat hype. Cycle of judgment of souls on Gaia from inside the planet. Such is the Ifatri's true purpose, its true form. All you saw was its material form. Yep. He doesn't care, Mega Man. He's driven by one thing, and it's hunger. They're on a wet food only diet, not because I particularly care, but the people we adopted them from had to sign an agreement that we would do that, so I don't know if I would be able to bust open a bunch of cans and auto-feed them. Kato haipu, or gato haipu. Deku. I should be fully aware of the meaning of your existence. Interesting, Flumpy. Ride the shoe puff? Tantalus, Vivi, Lara, Flamo, Rex, Clunky, Echo, and Dagger. Stream voted on the names of our characters. No, it sounds cool, Kami. I am the new Angel of Death. I've had enough of your crap. Yeah. Oh, interesting, Kami. Yeah, Flumpy, the reason I've stayed away from Skyrim is because I have this obsessive need to 100% games, and there's too much to do in that kind of game. Like you said, too many distractions. So when I play it on stream, I'll mostly be beelining to complete it. I'll hit some of the cool side quests as we bump into them on the way. We know Kuja is kind of Zidane's brother. Mhm. Didn't they do a Gundam Dynasty Warriors game? Alright, here we go. You're not alone. My favorite song in this game. Well, this game has an excellent soundtrack. Yeah, I gave this song one full playthrough in silence. Talk again. Oh, interesting. I feel like my interest in cool, like, free-to-play browser games waned as I started to have enough, like, money from my own job to be able to buy console and PC games. They're still awesome, I just play them less frequently than I did as a kid. Played a whole bunch of them back in the day. I think it's got auto regen. You get ticks faster when you have auto haste turned on too. That's in the air. Girl, hey. Zidane's starting to do a ton of damage with his attacks now. Okay, I guess regen is just counteracting the effect of the poison. Here's a good point. Yes. Freya is a girl. She's named for a Norse goddess. I always confuse Freya and Frigga. I think Freya is the wife of Odin. Burmesian. Right, happiness? He doesn't care. A one-track mind. Wow, that's really impressive, Mega Man. And it started as a free-to-play, like, Congregate game? Which skill is that, Mega Man? Cool custom animations on the characters there being knocked back. Not alone, Zidane. Snap out of it. Looks like a boss. It'll be okay. We don't really have... These are like two of our weakest characters. Try using Match Magic. Shock those 99.99s. It'll be okay. Probably should have had her use White Wind instead. We'll see what happens on our next turn. Don't hit Rex. Don't kill both of them. Whew. I think I need to pick him up to have a chance of doing any damage here. Still at a big risk if we get hit with that same attack again, it could be game over. Okay, now Zidane's here. That's pretty cool, Mega Man. Abaddon. Just leave it to Zidane to solo the rest of it, I guess. Looks like he auto-regens back the damage he takes, roughly. I have another 10 minutes of Final Fantasy IX. I might run a little bit over time because it might be a while till we get to the next save point. But basically when we hit the next save point, I'll throw up a BRB, take a short break to feed the cats, and keep going. So let me get this straight. Zidane is a blonde kid with a monkey tail who goes Super Saiyan and he gets tranced. Seems a little familiar. Apparently you basically go Super Saiyan in Dragon Quest VIII if you get your tension maxed out on the main character. I've never done it. I saw a screenshot of it though. You can Google Dragon Quest VIII high tension. And chill out, Zidane. This last group, I think we'll have some more characters who can take care of themselves. I think there's one more group. There might be two more. We'll see. Oh man. Pretty cool graphic on this thing. Very cool graphic. I don't know if these have unique steals from them. They're kind of like mini bosses. I don't remember if you can encounter them in normal random battles later or not. Miss. Yeah, I didn't even try to hear that. $12 on Steam. That's pretty cool. Counterattack, alright. Oh, could hit pretty hard, we'll see. Damage we could avoid if we had auto flow still on. That wasn't too bad. So does Garland just have these things hanging out? I think that was a scripted reduction to 1 hit point. Yeah. Just in case you had grinded out his stats or something. Now, what I don't know is if he has like different HP totals depending on the phase of the fight. Yeah, Happiness. I played Dragon Age Origins about 90% of the way through. I didn't finish it. And playing Dragon Age Inquisition now on stream. Which one are you picking up? If you want to see Inquisition, I'll be playing it with my wife as part of our blind playthrough tomorrow. I think Inquisition is just flatly better than Origins in every way. It's really, really good. But Kami and Matt in chat can probably speak more intelligently. I don't know if there's anyone else in chat who's played through Inquisition before. Yeah, you should pick it up. If you want to see a preview of what it's like, maybe ask some questions about the mechanics, you're welcome to tune in tomorrow and check it out. Otherwise, yeah, I just think it's better. It does a lot of things right. It has a really slick, clean UI. It feels very polished. Really fun combat. It's a good mix of the action-style combat of Dragon Age 2, the Mass Effect series. And it lets you, at whim, you know, pause it and do the tactical combat you know and love from older BioWare titles like Baldur's Gate. There's a kitty over here begging chair. We want to protect you. My master tell me, somebody give you tasties, you give them tasties too. Is good manners. I like how they're able to have some, like, character depth from Quina, like earlier with, like, oh, leftovers, best part. Rex. Yay, Steiner. On board. Hooray! Good to hear the rad music anymore, though. I think there's a save point when we get back here. Like I said, we'll keep playing until we hit the next save point. Might be a little bit more than 5 minutes from now. Alright. What a busy guy coming and going all the time. So we're actually going to end a little bit early, but it's cool. I need to take some time to feed the cats anyway. See you later, Han. Try to sleep well. See you next time. This is the same one from before, nothing new here. Tent real quick. You're just here today for Final Fantasy IX. That's totally cool. Next time we're going to be playing will be next week, Thursday and Friday, so you can check the schedule underneath the stream. I try to update it on Sunday nights / Monday mornings. We will be revisiting it, and when we beat 9, we're going to sub it out for another game. Other Final Fantasies on the schedule right now, Final Fantasy X is going to be played on Mondays and Tuesdays, so just, like I said, keep an eye out below the stream for the schedule. I will be back in about 4 minutes after I feed the cats with some Mass Effect 2, so we'll see you soon.